Guys, so 3 reasons why your guide is not talking to you. The first main one, okay, expectations. Either having an expectation of who and what they should look like and the way they should approach you, and an expectation on the time. So for instance, expectations on what they look like. Your guide, you do not know your guide yet, so you should not have no idea of what your guide should look like. Regardless of whether you go for a reading one time and either the psychic or the medium says, your guide is such and such and they look like this. That could mean anything to you. It's almost putting a blockage on who and what your guide is. Your guide is something personal to yourself. Okay, that is the first thing. Like, we are needing to build and form a connection with that being ourselves. And if they are not stepping forward for you yet, do not take what anyone says to you as gospel. Expectations are one of the biggest things to get across, because we run with expectations of how things should be or turn out in our lives, expectations of ourselves, expectations of timing, do you know? And with spirit guides, they are not just going to pop up whenever you just ask. Your energetic signature needs to be open and aligned with the purpose of what your guide has and what the purpose your guide is working with you for. Okay, so for instance, my guide, I did not meet till I was 19 or 18, turning 19. And that's a lot of years. I've been a medium since I was a baby. Like, I've seen spirit and spoke to spirit and seen colours around people, etc. since I was a baby. So even then, of having an understanding of spirit and seeing spirit, my guide still did not step forward till I released my expectations of who and what they should be and the reasons for them working with me. It was kind of a detach and allow the process to be the process. It's progress, not perfection. Okay, so it wasn't until the 2nd 2018 when my guide stepped forward, and it was after loads of spiritual journeying. This were who I saw. So I like to draw things, I like to document things, I like to keep note and understand my experiences. So before I'd met that guide, I were only attuned to EarthBounds and entities. That were where my experience was, and that's what led me into doing what I do now, because I had a lot of difficulty, a lot of trauma, and yeah, having entities around and trying to attach to you is just not a nice thing. So even during them most difficult points, my guide did not step forward and be like, hi, my name's Rakushi. I'm here to help you understand spiritual concepts and get you on the path to do efficient and structured and well thought out readings. It just did not work like that. So I had to do a lot of spiritual progression, attuning to my own energy and understanding my own energy, and then allowing that space and opening up that space for spirit to then step forward clearly, confidently, and yeah, have that faith in them, do you know? Because sometimes you get that doubt rolling. So that's the first thing, is the expectations, okay? The second thing is your vibration is low, okay? So it's either self-doubt, lack of self-worth, lack of boundaries, do you know, victim mentality, anger, hurt from trauma, do you know, or lack of trust in people, lack of trust in self. So you need to work on raising up your frequency, and that being your energetic signature. You can raise your frequency up for a short period of time, but then you can just allow it to go back down with the same behaviour patterns, the same reactions, the same mindsets towards life, towards energy, do you know? And it's that raising up your frequency which is going to open up you to being able to work with spirit efficiently. Okay, and it's when you're raising up your frequency, any lower vibrational energies or spirit are not going to be able to align with you. You are only going to be able to align with those of the light and your guides, angelic energies, ETs, ascended masters, and ancestors who have crossed over, that type of thing, okay? You want to stay away from earthbound and entities, especially if you do not have an understanding of spirit worlds, the different densities, the different frequencies, and the influences what they can have on you as an individual. So raising up your frequency, that's why we are called mediums, because we meet on a medium line. And it's that when you learn to attune to your energies and raise it up or lower it a little bit, open it up and lower it a little bit, then that's when you are particularly ready to be working with your guide. That's when you are going to get clear and straight to the point access with your guide. But again, with the expectations, it's not going to go from 0 to 100 straight away. Okay, it's going to be like a stepping stone. So I used to live with a lot of anger, a lot of pain, a lot of stress, and I used to keep it in, I used to hold it in, and that just kept my frequency low. So that's why I did not meet my guide as quick as what I could have done if I would have raised up my frequency and made that my permanent kind of area to be in. You're never going to just stay one, but there's a section of what you can be in, and there's a section in the lower, you can think of them in areas. So that's the second one. The third one is you just are not meditating right. Someone, or you have not even looked into it, or someone has not explained it well enough for you to be able to distinguish what type of meditation you are doing to attempt to speak to your guide. So the first one what I would always direct people towards would be learn mindfulness. Mindfulness meditation is going to help you understand yourself, your own energetic imprint, your thoughts and feelings. You are going to be able to work through them, in turn doing shadow work, which we'll go into in another video. But yeah, the mindfulness is the basis to pretty much most spiritual practices or most energetic ties which you will be making. You need to understand when something feels like it's shift, when you feel like your frequencies shift, if you feel like you've got a blockage in your energy centers, your chakras, which run up your body. So it's like that mindfulness is basically like the firm foundation, the building blocks to any other spiritual practice what you are going to do, okay? Because mindfulness is an art of grounding and centering your energies, or bringing yourself back into alignment and understanding self. So that's why mindfulness is important. Then once you've got that down to basics, down to grips, or whatever the saying is, you would want to go in then with transcendent meditation, okay, which is where we're more so zoning out of our body, connecting with our spirit self. That's when we're going in the deeper trance states, when we are going on astral travels, maybe practicing remote viewing. You know, transcendent meditation is just allowing images and just, well, for yourself to go as deep as possible and disattune with reality, because this is not just everything what we have got. This is a minute aspect, minute frequency, a minute vibration range, what we see, and we want to disconnect from the physical and go into the energetic. We want to go as deep as we possibly can, and that takes time to develop, okay? But they are the best times when you would meet your guide, and your guide will be teaching you things, or you will get more vast amounts of information because of the state of consciousness which you are reaching. Because transcendent meditation is when we are really like shifting our consciousness level, our brain waves. We are becoming more in tune and more aligned with the universe and the energy around us. And then in turn, we receive downloads, information, insights about ourselves, about the universe as a whole, whatever spirit wants to be teaching us. And that comes in time, that comes as a process. It's not going to be straight in with it. It takes time to develop. It takes time to develop the visions. It takes time to attune to sensations and claircognizance. And also, if you've got any restrictions up to hearing, it will gradually bring you past and through that you're clearing almost like your ears out, and you're able to hear them a lot better. So when you've got meditation down to grips, it's about intention setting. If you are clearly aligned with that intention, that is what is going to gradually manifest for you. But if you are still vibrating with that lower frequency, the self-doubt, expectations and rushing. You are not in the zone, you are not in the mode to be meeting your guide. You need to really bring it back in, you need to bring yourself back into alignment, and they will gradually just meet you and give you little bits and snippets of information and experiences till it gets to the point you think, right, tune into my guides, center, and then just do your breathing, and it's getting that alignment. You want to be a clear channel for spirit. That is the whole purpose of it, is to become clearer, more aligned, more attuned to who you want to be and also who spirit are helping you to be. So that are the 3 steps to meeting your guide and what you should do. Peace out.